Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome to day 5 of the 31 Days of Horror. D Bougie 86 here again. Now, the film I got for you guys today is a film from 1997. Yes, 1997. And it's a film I have seen before, but not since it came out. So, we're talking almost 20 years, guys. So, this one was kind of like fresh in my head, but when I was watching it, shit started to come back to me as I was watching the film. So it was kind of a cool experience because it was kind of like a first time watch, but I still remembered things about it. And the only things I knew about this film once I was going into it is I knew I have seen it before, and I know it was based off a Stephen King short story. And the film entitled is Stephen King's The Night Flyer. Yes. This film is directed by Mark Pavia, who doesn't have really like the hugest filmography. I know like 2 films that he directed, this one, and most recently he directed Fender Bender for Scream Factory. That's his newest film that he directed, and I think his only other film. So it's kind of like a year's growth from this film to that film. I am very curious in that film though. Haven't gotten the mail yet. And this film stars, of course, Miguel Ferrer, who's in a lot of films that I actually highly enjoy. He's in Deep Star 6, and of course, RoboCop, and he's one of the Clooney clan there. He's George Clooney's cousin. But yeah, he's in a lot of like different roles. Very good actor for the roles that he takes. Now, the main plot of this one, we're introduced to Miguel Ferrer's character of Richard Dees, who's like this tabloid reporter for like this paper who, like they do like weird stories about like UFOs and all that good stuff. And he was the star reporter for this paper until like recently when his story started getting off the front page and he's kind of losing steam with his story. But his editor gives him the chance of a lifetime to redeem himself and get back on the front page with this story about this serial killer going around, flying around the US and killing people pretty much. And what he later writes this serial killer as the Night Flyer, title intended. He goes off and reports on it and follows this killer's trail. But on the way, as it goes on, it seems like this killer is more than what meets the eye. And unbeknownst, since the cover of this film is very spoilerish, it might be a vampire, pretty much. That is pretty much the main plot of the film without going into it. Now, my thoughts on this film's been out of print for years, and I'm very happy that I actually got this copy in as a gift last month, and very hold dear to me that because it's one film I did want to revisit for years now, and I'm glad I did. Miguel Ferrer's performance in this film is really, really something because he's your main character. He's kind of a dick in the film in some scenes, but it's a dick that you see him as this character because you could tell he was like one of those star reporters and his career didn't pan out the way that he wanted it to go because of the stuff that he reports on pretty much. So it kind of goes hand in hand with what is going on with the story, and when it comes all full circle, you see what happens in the film. But there's a lot of cool stuff in this film. Like I really like how the plane looks that the Night Flyer flies. It's like a black plane, kind of like the one on the cover here, but all black with like a red tail. And the look of the Night Flyer is fucking awesome when you see him in like the final scene. You really don't get to see him that much until the ending of the film. But he's fucking awesome looking if you haven't seen this film before. And another thing that goes on was the effects. There's some really cool kill scenes because the effects are done by K&B, of course, Greg Nicotero, Howard Berger, Robert Kurtzman. Then they kill it on the effects of this film. And it's awesomeness right here. And the ending of this film is very Twilight Zone / Tales in the Crypt style in a way because of the way it ends. And I kind of like that about the film because I kind of saw the ending of this film coming a mile away because I did see it before, but like when I'm talking about, I'm trying to think about the first time I seen it. But it's really fucking well done, man. I really liked how the ending played together and how it came all full circle at the end, especially with another reporter that works with Miguel Ferrer's character in the film. Now, the only gripe I have with the film is nothing really. There's really no gripes about this film. It's a very low budget, scaled film from like major budget films, but it all works in some way. It's one of those films like maybe some of the pacing might be a little better off and could have been a little shorter, even though the film is only an hour and a half. But it's just a very mesmerizing story to watch. Like it's kind of like a detective tale in a way that takes a full turn. And I like that about it. It's nothing too mind-blowing, and it's something that they don't really make these type of films anymore, like these small-scale films with like these actors that we all seen in other films and make them like the lead role of the film. And it works, and I really did dig this film, man. If I had to rate The Night Flyer, it's getting a solid 8 out of 10. I do really hope that this does get re-released someday, like a very nice edition. But one side note, if it does, I hope for like people that haven't seen this film before, they change the cover, because the cover is very spoilerish, if I do say so myself. So yeah, I definitely recommend The Night Flyer. If you can find a copy of it, definitely give it a watch. It's a really fun film and one of the better like Stephen King adaptations from this time period. Really good stuff. Night Flyer, 8.5, not 8 out of 10, my bad. 8 out of 10 for The Night Flyer. Alright guys, that's it for the day 5. This is it for that review. I'll be back tomorrow, and I actually switched the film because it was a film that I've been waiting to see for the longest time, and it actually just came in the mail today, so I'm very highly stoked for it. And that's why I'm changing it, because I've been dying to watch this film since it was first announced and released. So that's coming up tomorrow, guys. So I'll see you then. Peace out.